or like a moment for everyone else. So basically, the concept of a deployment pipeline. Well, let's take it back a notch and let's talk about, right, when you're on your laptop and you're developing, right, from a goals perspective, your goal is to eventually get your code to production. And production basically represents, where your code will live when people will use it, like the rest of the world will use
Right.
it. Right? So there's an entire process that's required. It's not just pushing your code, but there are a series of steps that have to take place, such as testing your code using your test suite, um, and then you have to go through the process of pushing your code to development, which is an environment, right? The development environment for which you make your changes locally,
Right.
but then they get deployed so that everyone else can see them and test them, etc.,
Mm.
and it can be scrutinized. With that as well, of course, you have the pull request process so that your code can be scrutinized before it's merged into what's called the main branch, right?
Right.
So basically, the goal is to go from your laptop development to the development environment and then go throughout the chain of deployment. So you go from development to testing, which is, it's in the name testing, right? You have a bunch of quality assurance people.
Right.
Who it's their job to test. It goes there, and then it goes to stage, right? You do some additional testing, and of course, then the next phase is production. So that's essentially the concept of continuous integration and deployment. So continuous integration, essentially, specifically, it's kind of like so you're continuously automating the process of going through that phase um, without automated deployment. Right, so that's continuous integration, but so that's CI, and then there's CD, continuous deployment, which is where essentially you automate the deployment as well. So with the continuous integration, essentially there's like a manual step for which you determine, whether you'll deploy or not, or what version, or tag or whatever. So yeah, so that's CI/CD for you. So that's what that is. So that's sort of, I'm not sure if that was a tangent. I'm not sure why I started talking about
that
that.
makes sense. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks. So that's essentially part of what I do at Solar Turbines during the day. So I think it really is an important part of the process because people generally think you just develop and then that's it. But there's a series of steps to maintain quality, and consistency in terms of the deployment.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, there's so many different aspects to this. Like there's site reliability. You can be a site reliability engineer where you ensure that things don't go down and there's logging, etc. But there are so many different perspectives to think about software, right? So yeah, so in a nutshell, that's sort of what I'm doing. And the guys who work on that pipeline process, generally they're called DevOps engineers, which is basically what I am during the day. As of now, speaking of the job, right, they want me to put together this AI infrastructure, for which is straightforward. I'm not using any of my proprietary code, so to speak, so that's good. It's just I'm building the infrastructure so that people can build their own code, so that's cool. It's not too bad. So yeah, so I have to build it. This is kind of cool because I'm like dedicated to that almost full time now. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm still looking at jobs. I was thinking about getting AI engineer job, but
where would it be?
I'm like, there are a couple. You said like where would it, like what company?
Yeah, what company?
There are a few like startup like companies, so to speak. I don't recall. I have to look up my email and such, but I don't want to go searching for it now. But yeah, so I can get paid significantly more, so that's good.
Yeah, there's a senior deep learning AI engineer at Illumina. I think that's the company, like near UTC. I've seen it before.
Okay. Oh, Illumina. Yeah. I know about that.
Yeah.
I've seen them. They have a building that I see often on the freeway. I think I can see it from the highway. But yeah, so I'm looking at that. because it seems appealing, right?
Yeah.
But my thought is, if I'm going to spend time looking for jobs, why not just throw that time into my own business?
Mm,
So I have one of my colleagues coming over today so I can go over how I develop multi-agent systems. And I told him, like, there's these guys who have been asking me to develop systems, but I need a staff. So I told him, come over today. He'll be here around 7 o'clock and we'll go over it. I'll show him how to build like a simple, basic um, sort of system,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but generally people don't need much, but so it's more of a teaching lesson, not just for him, but for me, right? How can I convey properly what I need to do? How can I package up the power of what I'm doing and give it to someone else and have them run with it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a test for me as well as for him. So it's going to be great. So if we can do that, I can get him going and, just hit the streets, so to speak. And um, I'm thinking what we'll do is refactor other people's agents, right, to ensure that they're
Mm,
working properly. Because a lot of people, they literally just have like, they're using the API for OpenAI or something, right, or Perplexity, but that's it.
it's
So number one, they're
it's not like
unreliable. Mhm.
curated to like what they like what your like purpose
Yeah,
actually is. Just like have it
yeah, they're
as is.
they're using like APIs and simple RAG systems,
Mm,
right? But that doesn't really get the job done in terms of reliability, and the art form of it, and really crafting a perfect prompt for every single agent within your stack, right? And as I mentioned before, it's multi-agent systems. It's not just an agent, but a lot of people don't even know that. So there is an amazing opportunity here to build something beautiful, especially as I have this demonstration that I'm working on that I put on the internet, basically, um, to show people that this is real and what it is, and they can have something that's tangible to understand the power of this. So just one
is
step at a time. If I can do this, we can hit the ground running, and I can maybe I'll have this guy get out into the streets. He's kind of burned
mm,
out um, from development, but I mean he can at least understand the process of what I'm doing, so he can, from a technical perspective, be able to talk about it at length. You know, because he's somewhat technical, but the company he wants to get into, since he's burned out of writing code, is marketing. So either way, we're going to
right.
be able to win.
Mm.
If I have another guy marketing on my behalf, that sort of thing. Yeah. So
Where
yeah.
where
So that's
did
what's
she
going on.
used to work before that?
Well, he works at
Mm,
Amazon. He doesn't do his company full time. He has his company with his brother, where they're trying to, you know, help people with
mm,
marketing. Last time we talked, he said it was regard to YouTube, like YouTube people, like help them get their, you know, pages or channels popping,
yeah,
so to speak. But I think he may change his mind once I show him what I have
yeah.
going on tonight, basically.
Think you will.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure if I can get him back in the programming game, that'll be good. But at the end of the day, he's still good for the marketing game, like I was saying earlier. So yeah, that was that guy who he was kind of burned out because one of our partners basically was an ass. So, but it's a good learning experience.
Is it the person who joined on Friday?
No, 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 not that was
Mm,
Felipe. Felipe, that was different. No, this guy it's another Brian Hogan. You haven't met him. You met Brian. Um, what's his last name? Brian West. What's his name? Last name? Well, Black Brian. You met the Black Brian. The
mhm.
other Brian, he's Caucasian. That's the one I'm talking about now. So yeah, but hopefully you'll meet him soon. He can't typically join in the mornings, so I'm thinking about doing something in the evening actually, especially considering I have to be back in the office starting June.
Mm.
So stay tuned for that. I'll maybe update the time and let you
Oh, you
guys
have to
know.
be back in the office by June?
Yeah, yeah,
That kind of sucks.
it's all good. Yeah, it's not very cool, but all good. Um, I'm thinking I can make enough cash flow to not even work as many hours at my job. So I'm planning to slowly pull back as I get more cash
Yeah.
flow, not entirely quit, but there will be a process. So right now I work 40. I'll probably maybe scale back, maybe like work 35 and 30.
Right.
We'll
Mhm.
see how I can cut it. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, so that's about it, man. So that's what's going on. So how about you? So things are picking up, or as in, you know, getting better. It's looking
Yeah.
better.
I have finals next week. Um, yeah, and I guess after next week, I'll have like a couple of weeks off until I have summer classes.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
and
Well, that's
then
good. A couple of weeks. Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's pretty nice. But I also have the code for the um what is it? The Ultra. It's the tracking software.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I
That's
can.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, is it fine if I share my screen to like show you how? Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to see. Let's do it.
yeah, it's kind of like I was still trying to figure it out though. It was kind of acting kind of weird, but
Mm.
I have to show my entire screen. All right. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I'm going to have to expand this a little bit. It's just, there we go. I'm good now.
Mhm.
So it's tracking, as in
I
tracking. Is there a specific pattern that you're looking for?
Yeah, it's like a video I attached to the thing, or it should start.
Oh, badass. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's acting kind of weird though, because the cars that come after it, it shows like 5 kilometers per hour, 3 kilometers per hour, and the frame rate is like really slow for some reason. I like tried decreasing the quality down to like 720. I might have to do it even more, but
Okay.
it keeps on
Wow.
lowering the frame rate, which is like really weird. But
Wow.
this is like, yeah, this is the original.
Great job, man.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
that's, yeah, awesome. That's a beautiful start. So, okay, so it's tracking. That's cool. So it's tracking cars in general.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it can also track people. And if you go up, it'll also indicate how many cars or people it's tracking at that time. And it could
Oh,
also do
awesome.
truck, but
Wow.
yeah,
So generally, if there are two people in the front seat, it'll tell you. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty
Or
cool.
actually, I mean, I don't think it'll go that far. I guess it's tracking those people right there. But
Oh, let me see
yeah,
where.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right
Yeah,
over
on the
there.
side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I
That's
mean,
cool.
for the most part, it's pretty accurate,
Right.
which is nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. So do you have to hit like a language model for this, or is this all on your laptop?
It is from a language model, so it
Okay, gotcha.
imports and it uses the what is it? The data model,
Yep, yep.
and then you can use that to do the video capture and all that. This was
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was an example though. I was using it to test how it works, and uh, and then I was just changing it based off of that to see what does what, and just like try to like optimize it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet. So, okay. So that's Ultralytics, right?
yeah, Ultralytics.
So that's interesting. So you hit a model. So it's sort of like there's web requests going across the web
Yeah,
to that are returned that to analyze each frame. So that makes sense. So maybe because if there's a lot of frames, that's a lot of network traffic, there might be some sort of bottleneck. My theory is that if you could get that model and download it and run it locally, you might have some better performance theoretically.
that could
Because
be.
hmm?
I think that could be the issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That could be one of the issues. So I do have a NVIDIA um, AI sort of machine. Have you seen those? Like the really powerful ones. You can have like a language model. I have two on reserve. So when I get some change, I'm going to have that. Hopefully, I can hook that up to the internet and have you have access to that to improve the process a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's going to cost me a little change, about $8,000, but
Dang.
I have it in, reserve. I'm on the list,
Yeah,
so they should send me an email when that comes out.
yeah. I
Um,
didn't expect it to be like that much though for 8,000, but I mean it is Nvidia, so
right. So okay, I love how the command is yellow. That's kind of funny.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, man. Great job. So right now, so you're sort of in the process of just optimizing. So let's see what kind of questions can be answered with this that can provide value. If you think from that perspective, I think it'll help guide you to improve your software. So any scenario that you can think of, the initial, just so that you know, the initial idea, take it back a notch, is that if we can have a software to identify certain points within any video, right? Say if a gun goes off, or identify like someone saying something as well. So there's an audio perspective as well as a video
Mhm.
perspective, and be able to understand, well, what happened at a certain point. So, uh, so if we have the capability to ask questions,
Right.
right? So what happened within this time frame? We want to be able to know that. So this is a good part of it because I can foresee, like, let's say you're looking at a video and you want to find everywhere that there was a gun or something, right? Or everywhere that there was, I don't know, any item. You think about it, a lamp. You want to be able to track, well, what happened to it. I think this is maybe a good step in the right direction, you know? So track, well, where is it? Well, you have to identify the gun. You have to classify, based upon the algorithm, is this a gun or is it
Right.
not, right? So to speak, and track it. So that's beautiful.
Hmm.
This is awesome, man. So let's see what we can do with this. For now, so you have that perspective, and
Oh.
yeah, that's good. So, are there models to track different types of items? Is that right?
Um. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I haven't looked like far too into it, but it's like
Yeah.
mostly like cars, but I can like and people, and you can also like
Okay.
detect like the specific pose of someone. And yeah, you can
Oh,
also like classify too. There's like
okay.
models just for that,
Oh,
which is
nice.
pretty
Okay,
cool. I think this
that's
is
pretty sweet.
the first model is like the free model, and they have like different models for each.
Okay,
Yeah, but you can also train.
right. Gotcha. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I love it, man.
Yeah.
So this is a beautiful tool, Ultralytics.
Mhm.
All right, gotta keep that in the back pocket. All right, man. Good job. And now we have that perspective. Now, I know you're having some errors. I don't know if we have time to go over it, but let's go back to your terminal so we can just take a quick look because I did see you have some errors there, right?
Or
Or did you just stop it in
oh
the
no, yeah,
terminal when it did that?
I just hit Control C and I
Okay.
stopped it. I think it's fine. It's just like optimizing at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Just optimizing. So I'm curious to see if there are other items like I mentioned, like a lamp or whatever, and see, well, what would the process be if we asked questions to the video, right? Is there a mechanism for which we could do that?
Mm.
You know, almost like a video LLM, so to speak.
I actually have not thought of it like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, so that's sort of where we're going here.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep, video LLM.
video. Yeah,
That could be, let me see if I can get that DNS name. That would be pretty cool, right?
yeah.
So, yeah. Well, all right, man. So that's the perspective. Thanks a lot. Great stuff. And so one thing you realize you could do is identify specific items and track them.
Mhm.
So that's a beautiful step in the right direction. And how are we feeling? You know, you okay? You ready to conquer this week?
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely. Just
All right, let's do it.
a couple or just 2 exams, but I think
Yeah,
I think I got it. Hopefully.
gotcha. Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to conquer this week too. Got this client that I talked to on Friday, and I'm gonna touch base with them again and see if we can get this project going. He wants me to develop this AI product for him, and let's see if I can make this money so I can buy that NVIDIA,
Mhm.
desk LLM machine. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be
All right, man.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll let you know how that works out too.
Mhm.
All right, man. We're moving. All right. Well, enjoy your day.
Yeah.
Clobber this week. Clobber your tests, and take care of yourself, man.
Thank you. You as
All right.
well.
Thanks. All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye.